What's up everybody and welcome back. I was finally able to get my hands on the PlayStation new Dualsense Edge controller. With its adjustable triggers, customizable back button, and hot swappable thumb pads, I wanted to see if there was an advantage over the already PS5 Dualsense controller. So today, I'll be covering a few impressive features on the Dualsense Edge controller and whether it's needed for pro gaming. If we start off with the overall look, it's completely identical to the original Dualsense controller. Only real noticeable differences are the glossy plate and the blacked out touchpad. I like how PlayStation added a bit of detail to their products with the little PlayStation icons printed along the touchpad and the triggers. Hopefully they'll make an all black or different color set of Dualsense Edge controllers in the future as they did for the original. But as of now, this is PlayStation's first official Pro controller, and there are third-party controllers like the Scuff controller and the Features Pro controller that are available as well. The controller is housed in its white shell case, PlayStation logo on top with icon labels on the bottom. It comes with a few additional thumb pad caps, so it has 3 sets in total with the standard thumb pads, 2 high thumb pads, and 2 lows. The controller also comes with a set of black triggers and bumpers for remappable button, a braided USB-C to USB-A cable for charging, which can be connected to the controller in the case through this small opening. But if your controller battery is low but you're still in the middle of gaming, you can use this mechanism that locks the controller in so it doesn't disconnect if pulled. But be mindful to not continuously tug on the cable so you don't knock over your PS5. The controller does come in with a $200 price tag, and with the original Dualsense controller only be $60 to $70 depending on the color that you get. Casual gamers might not want to spend the extra money. But with today's lineups of shooters and action games like Call of Duty, Overwatch, and even the new God of War, this feature might be a reason to get one. The adjustable triggers give you the ability to change between 3 different sets on how far you press them, from the standard setting all the way to a very shallow depth for the quick trigger moments. For games like Warzone 2.0, you can adjust both triggers for quick aiming and firing. This is an adjustment I really needed because I always felt like my aiming wasn't fast enough. This also gives myself and others that don't like to use keyboard and mouse an even ground with those that do. In other games like Resident Evil, you can easily fire and slice zombies running at you. The Dualsense Edge still have adaptive triggers when set to the standard setting, but it's disabled when you change to the others, which is not needed since you already have a stopping point. Also in the settings, you have the option of tweaking the pressure levels of the triggers. This is convenient for those that don't want to utilize the adjustable triggers option, but still want the adaptive feedback as the original Dualsense controller has. Since the Dual Edge controller comes with additional thumb pads, you can easily swap them out by lifting on the thumb pads to remove and gently pressing down on the replacement pads. You now have the option to customize the height and grip level for both thumb pads for better aiming and precision. I have in the past used these control-free rings that acts as a resistance for movement, but with the added trigger sensitivity feature in the settings, you can create a resistance level for the turn radius and movement. This is pretty useful when playing Warzone and you're instantly surrounded by opposing teams. I'm sure you know that just below the thumb pads are these FN buttons. They are for creating and changing profile settings. With the Dualsense Edge controller, you now have the ability to remap the button layout. Like mentioned before, you can now use the new back triggers and buttons for remapping. In creating a profile for different games, you can have different button layouts for Call of Duty and even Horizon Forbidden West. I find this feature useful because I can switch between profile settings for Gran Turismo 7, as I like to use the back triggers for the e-brake and even gear shifting when I like manual shifting. But with joysticks across all controllers and all platforms, joystick drifts are a problem, and with the Dualsense Edge, you can swap out the entire joystick module. By removing the front plate and lifting on the latches, the joystick module can be pulled out and swapped out with a brand new one. With the original Dualsense, this isn't possible. I did wish that PlayStation made this accessible for all their controllers and not just the Pro. So I do feel like the Dualsense Edge does improve my competitiveness in shooter games and do elevate the entire experience with the PS5 as a whole. But is the $200 price tag really worth it when the original Dualsense controller already seemed pro enough with just a few minor tweakings? Let me know in the comments, but as of now, I'll be using this as my main controller, and with more games coming out in the next few months, it'll be interesting to see how the Dualsense Edge controller can be utilized. So as always, I want to thank you for sticking around. Remember to like and subscribe for more videos dropping in the future. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.